Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in, Sunita, Miss Margie. Bonnie got knit some more. Margie's Crafty Corner, Miss Vicky, Maribel, Sandra D, Chris's Kaleidoscope, D Yummy Elmo 69, and Miss Diane Sharp. Welcome in, everybody. How are y'all tonight? I'm better. Yeah, I went to bed Friday evening about 2 o'clock. I laid down. I got back up about 4 when Chastity called. And I went and got back into bed at 5. And I woke up the next morning at 8 o'clock. And I was pretty much in the bed all day Saturday. Wasn't feeling bad. It was my back. So, I'm better now. Welcome in, Aisha. Welcome in, Miss CJ. Welcome in, Dreamy. Purple Crochet and More. My bestie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? I finished my super scarf. I just got to add fringe to it. But for somehow or another, I dropped like 5 stitches on the red one that I was doing. So I just started another one. This is Premier Puzzle Yarn in the color Domino. Hey, Samantha, welcome in. Hey, Melissa with Crochet and Agreement, welcome in. So I finished it. I didn't do 30. I did 40 cast-ons. Hey, Tanky Poo, welcome in. I haven't measured it yet. I literally finished it today. But I haven't measured it yet. But it's long. And it's way longer than me. But I like how it fits. And it worked up really, really fast. I am going to add fringe to it. That's the reason why I hadn't did anything with the tails, because they're going to become part of my actual fringe. So, but the Lenny Kravitz super scarf is complete. Almost. The knitted part of it is done. Hey, Angela Wright. Yes, I feel a lot better. Still have spasms from time to time in my back, but it all depends on how I move. Hey, Bree, welcome in. Hey, Rita Pacheco, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Ivy B Creates, welcome in. Ivy, did you ever figure out what happened from that picture you sent me? What y'all got in y'all's cup, and what do y'all have on y'all's hook? We're going to look over the pattern that I left the link in the community post on and in the description box of this video. Hey, Lydia, welcome in. Hey, Brenda, the newbie crocheter, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, good to see all of y'all. I've missed y'all. Hey, Sis Chandra, welcome in. I didn't do any crocheting or knitting Saturday or Friday. I started on that Thursday, and I worked on it yesterday, and I finished it today. Coffee boho poncho using 4 mandalas. Ivy says, no, ma'am, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. Welcome in, D. Lane. Era Smith, good evening. I'm drinking Coke Zero, and I have several things on my hook. Well, you at the right house, because I am the whip master. I'm the master of whips, but I'm not a master of getting them done. Deanna says, hi, Jeannie, watermelon water and boyfriend cardigan on hook, socks on needles. Look, I still hadn't pushed that button to order those knit needles for to do socks with. Flavored water and my Kobu tank top. Chris's Kaleidoscope says, and Margie says, I have soda in my cup and my C2C blanket on my hook. Finished my first amigurumi, and it's on the way to my grandson. I saw that, Margie, and you did an awesome job for that to be your very first amigurumi. Yes, you see where that red box is right there that I'm pointing to? That's the starter whips, and it goes all the way down, not to the floor, but it's about 8 of them sitting there. Hey, Beverly Lee Creates. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to go over. Hey, Beverly. And make some changes, y'all. Y'all know what those are. I didn't do it before I came in. So we don't have any hiccups tonight if I can find it. Why is it only giving me? Let me dismiss that and maybe it'll. There we go. I already had a banner going across the top and I couldn't see what I needed to see. All right, I'm going to leave that up. I did it for one day. If I need to change it, it'll already be up and I can change it really, really quick. Coffee and going to finish 2 more rows on the needles, then going to grab my hook. Yes. Lydia says she's drinking a Pepsi and working on my KB Afghan knitting loom, making an Afghan. D Yummy Elmo 69 has iced tea 0 in my bottle and nothing on the hook. Drinking water and working on making some soap bags, Miss Vicky said. Well, thank y'all all for being here. I did start the autumn granny square top that Linda made. I'm using the butterfly yarn from Premier. Y'all know it has different colors in it too, but you don't get a lot of it. Actually, what you see in the center of that square is all the colors you get in the whole cake. So what I'm doing is I'm now going off the side with that same color, and I'm going to go down so many rows, and I got 2 more of the cakes, and I'm going to pull the colors from one cake and do it in the middle, and then finish off in this color. And I'm going to do the other sleeve the same way. And I'll be left with a bunch of this gray blue looking color. So, yeah. I'm using a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. And I started that yesterday in between doing some knitting. With that knitting and stuff, my tips of my fingers are real sore. So, but I got her done. I just got to add the fringe to her. And I see Miss Margie has made her Lenny Kravitz super scarf using the track stitch that I did the tutorial for. It turned out really, really well. Miss Margie says she'll be receiving her large knit needles tomorrow so that she can learn how to knit. Welcome in, Michelle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is Miss Karen from A Yarn Addict with Karen, is she not doing lives anymore on Monday? And has she completely moved to Tuesdays now? Hey, Lisa, welcome in. Hey, Miss C. Welcome, welcome. If anybody knows, let me know. Did she go live today? I was so busy doing other stuff, I didn't even get a chance to go over to Granny D's. I should be able to catch her Wednesday, though. Let me know if she went live or if she's changed, because I know she went live last Tuesday. Miss C, where in North Florida are you? I thought Miss C was in Ohio, or maybe she was visiting in Ohio. And she didn't go live today. And there was nothing on her community tab. Hey, Patty Barker, welcome in. Well, I'm gonna have to email her and see, and if she's changed it out, and if at least one of those Mondays, because ain't it Monday she normally would go live? Yeah, she would normally end when I go live. I know she went live last Tuesday. Oh, you have sisters in Ohio and in Michigan. Cool. Y'all, I did find some of the toy box yarn, which is what they use to make this pattern that we're going to learn how to read today. So, if once we go through the pattern, if y'all want to grab some 5-weight yarn and us work this up together, we can definitely do that, which will help also with learning how to read patterns. Hey, Jens, welcome in. Hey, Jen. Well, you at the right place tonight. We're going to do this pattern. I've got 2 more patterns that I've chosen for us to do over a course of time. And we're going to go through every aspect of it. I do have some books underneath my camera where it kind of raises it up a little bit, where it's not so far off from the camera. You think Granny D had internet problems today? Lisa says she's going to be listening and working tonight. But if y'all want to work some of this up, after we review the entire pattern, we're in, because it's a short pattern. If y'all want to actually work some of this up, we can do so. I've actually made this blanket. The picture that's in my thumbnail is actually this pattern. And that is the blanket that I made using this pattern. And I added white to it by using the Premier Serenity, which is a 5-weight yarn as well. Hey, Nana Michelle, you'll be listening and lurking. We'll lurk away. Deanna, this is Follow the Leader blanket pattern by Premier. It's a free pattern on their website. I can grab the link right quick and drop it in the chat. It should already be in my copy. I should be able to just copy and paste it, but just to make sure I don't copy something y'all don't need to click on. And if you want to go to Premier's website, just go to premieryarns.com, click on that search bar by the little person at the top, and type Follow the Leader, and it will pull right up for you. And you click on that link, and it'll take you to the pattern. But here is a link to the pattern right here. Hey, Angie, my fairy treasures. I finished my Lenny Kravitz super scarf. I just got to add the fringe to it. Hey, Sue's Crochet Whips, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yes, Bonnie, I saw that. I saw that. I was laying in bed watching somebody's video, and I ended up going to sleep on it. And my husband undoubtedly came in there and got my phone and stopped it and put it on charge and everything for me. I don't know. At 2 o'clock, I got into bed. I'd went to town that day and did some shopping. He was actually helping my neighbor build a porch. Then he got a load. He had to go get loaded. So I ended up going to Walmart and running around town that I need to do. And I ended up picking up on a pack of water. So I just showed it. It's not in the red because I lost like 5 stitches in that somehow or another. So it's right here. It's right here still. I'm going to frog it. And I am going to make another one in that yarn. But this is in Premier Puzzle in the color Domino. And this is 2 held together. Remember the red one, I was only holding 1 strand. And this is how long it is. Okay, this is the top of me. And it's laying on the floor. And I did 40 cast on instead of 30 because I wanted mine to be a little bit wider. And if I put it on, I like how it fits. And with the fringe, it's going to go about mid-calf once I add the fringe to it. So I like how it fits. And it's got the perfect drape. I haven't washed it yet. I think I'm gonna put it in a bag and throw it in the washer tomorrow and wash it, and then add the fringe to it. It's very soft. And this is the yarn. And I don't know how much of this I used because I had some caked up already. And that's what I used. And I didn't use all of 4. So this is the Premier Puzzle. It's 328 yards, 7 ounces. And this color is Dominoes. Focus. So, real easy to make, y'all. If you can do the knit stitch, you can do this. I absolutely love it. And Angie is right. Like if my kids were still in high school and playing football, this is what I would be taking with me. Because I could wrap it around me and everything. You could wear it in so many different ways. So, thank you, Angie. Now I'm ready for the boho cardigan that's coming next year. Angie thinks she's going to make a knitter out of me. Hey, Miss Julie G, welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm going to play the members for you because you became a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have not gone live since then. But what I was thinking is if Miss Karen's not doing her lives on Monday evenings anymore, and if Brenda doesn't take one of her lives or her live spot, then I can do my members only live at least an hour before I go live on Monday evenings, if that works for the members. I'm writing y'all's names down for those that are super chatting. And I will go back and add y'all into the bucket. And Saturday, Veronica and I will be back with the Yarn and Fiber Sisters. And we're going to do the slideshow for the pictures. We're going to pick 4 winners, 2 for the super chat and super stickers for the month of October, and the 2 winners for the picture submission. So if you have not submitted pictures for July, August, and September, go ahead and submit them by Thursday, and I can add them to the end of the slideshow. Thank y'all. I actually loved how it turned out. I held 2 strands together, Miss Rita. What, Bonnie? You bought a Christmas outdoor blow mold of a llama. I want to see that blowing. So I got a super chat from Tank. I got one from Miss Margie. Thank y'all so much. And this is for y'all. Do y'all want them chickens? Or do y'all want super chat, super sticker song? Y'all want the chickens? I printed it out, so now I got to get me an L hook. Pretty, Jeannie. Thank you. Yes, Miss Julie. I got some more of that Premier Puzzle. It's like in the coral looking color. Can't think of what the name of it is, but it's over at my office. I'm going to end up making another one with it, or I might end up holding that yarn for the boho cardigan because I love the colors. It's like the corally dark peach color with browns. Hey, Zoila, welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're new here and you would like your channel link to be dropped, type the word neighbor and it will drop your link for you. So we got Tank, we got Miss Margie, we got Chris's Kaleidoscope. Hey, Angel Renee, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. We're going to dance. We're going to do a couple of dances. How about that? Welcome in, Angel. So this is the Super Chat Super Sticker song. Miss Rita, let's dance, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tank. This the chicken dance. I'm trying to see which one is it. We're gonna have... Thank you, thank you, thank you, Miss Margie. And Chris, this is for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Chris. And this is for Miss Bonnie. I'm going to go back and forth between that and the chicken. Y'all see that pretty butterfly up there? Thanks to Sis B, we got some chickens with some clothes on them now. They're not naked. I got to share something with y'all right quick. Miss Vicky sent me this today, and I got to make one of them. I have got to make it. And I just laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Not Miss Vicky, Miss Tina. Miss Tina, Camper Tina. It's a Thanksgiving turkey purse. Hey, Butter Roll Boutique. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Isn't that thing the cutest? Hey, Sabrina. Welcome in. I got to make one. And when I make it, I'm going to have him up here doing the dance. Yeah. Now that's a butterball, right? I got to figure out where she found it at. I don't know if it's a pattern. On Rivalry by Katrina Payne. I'm going to see if I can find it right quick. I should be able to type in Thanksgiving turkey purse and it come up. Yep, there she blows. So we're going to share this. And we're going to paste it in the chat. And there's the link right there. Show the picture you sent of the whale. It is super cute, and you did an amazing job, Miss Margie. Look at him. Yeah, Miss Camper 14 Tina sent that over to me about the turkey picture. Miss Margie sent the well picture in. Isn't that a butterball? That's a big old butterball. Hey, Ronell. You going to lay down? Good night. I know this time change has everybody thrown off. Have a good night's rest, Ronell. Thank you for stopping by. And Sabrina wants to dance. Miss Beverly, it doesn't matter. If you have Premiere or not, it doesn't matter. I just happen to have this. Premiere don't even sell this yarn anymore. I actually did one order from Aberdeen Wools, which is in Canada. They have really, really good shipping for us here in the U.S. They ship for like $5. And I ordered some more of the Premiere Puzzle from them, which is in that corally color. And they had the toy box. And because I'd made the blanket that you see in the thumbnail and I had worked with it, I loved it so much. When I seen they had it, I grabbed 6 skeins of it. So that's how I ended up having some. But they don't even carry it anymore. I wish they did. Let me write Sabrina down. Hey, Sis V, welcome in. You come in on your Spanish channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, well done, Margie. Well done. Everybody speaking to V, Butterball. Butter Roll Boutique. Sorry for saying butter roll. Yes. I don't know how much it is. I just pulled it up and looked at it. Oh, it's available for free. Hobby Lobby, I love this yarn. Sis V, did you get to see it? Look at this purse. Lord have mercy. How I get? Oh, it won't switch me. You see that purse, Sis V? The turkey purse. Miss Tina sent us a picture of it in the Yarny Fiber Sisters email. I dropped the link to the pattern. Yeah, isn't it cute? We're gonna have to make that, Sis V. Have about 3 of them hanging from a ceiling right here, and when we do the dance, I can sway them back and forth. Stuck it in your library, yeah. It's a free pattern, so hey, you can't go wrong with free, can we? Not nowadays, anyway. Sue said, I've seen everything now, a turkey purse. Right. We're going to dance for Sabrina. Yay, congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Sabrina. That's because I played the sister song. Great for pinatas. Yeah, they'd never bust it, would they, Tank? Them poor kids would be swinging left and right hard all day, every day, and still wouldn't bust it. It'd be a good prank pinata. Yep, it would be a good prank pinata. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add the other camera in, and we're going to look over this pattern. I got my highlighter. I got my pen. And we're going to go through every component of this pattern. And if at any time you have a question or anything like that, use the red question mark button that you can get from your emojis in the chat, and I will stop. Where can you set chicken person? We go by group. Yes, and if you need to get a question to me and you don't want to use the question mark, put it in all caps with the question mark before it and after it, and I'll see it. And I'll be looking up from the camera, from this camera to that one, from time to the chat from time to time, so I can see. All right, so this is the Premier Yarns free pattern, and it's called Follow the Leader Blanket, and it is by the Premier Yarns design team. Right, Miss Rita, we can use that chicken purse when we buy Hey, wouldn't that be funny, going in the grocery store with a chicken purse and put a chicken in it? Get a whole chicken and put in it. Yes, Miss Beverly, any yarn is fine. You can use any weight yarn. This pattern does call for a 5-weight yarn, but you can use any weight yarn. However, you're not going to get the same size pattern. So, and we'll talk about all that in the pattern. So they're saying that this level is an easy level. Patterns do come in different levels. They come in easy, beginners, intermediate, advanced, and experienced. So a lot of times what makes the difference between a pattern being easy and a pattern being intermediate to advanced is you're working with multiple stitches. It could have post stitches in it. It could have shell stitches in it. It could have special stitches. If it has a special stitch in it, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be categorized anywhere from an intermediate to an advanced pattern. And I do have some of those printed off that are free as well. And I will share that link from my community tab back on my community tab, where it'll be the first thing on there. And you can go ahead and grab all of those patterns and print them off. Most patterns will come with a picture that shows the finished project. This is Premier's. The one that you see in my thumbnail is the one that I made using this exact same pattern. The finished measurements, if you follow their instructions specifically, will be 27 inches wide by 30 inches long. Now, if you use any size yarn other than a 5-weight, you won't get that length. Now, you can hold 2 4-weights together and get a 5-weight, and you should come out pretty much with the same width. Also, depending on your tension, all of this plays in a part when you're dealing with patterns. Depending on how you crochet, how tight your tension is, or how loose your tension is, will also affect the size of the pattern. One thing that I like to say is keep in mind that we did not write this pattern. We did not crochet the gauge or anything like that. So we could follow this pattern from the beginning to the end, and we could come up with a completely total different measurement than what they came up with, because we're not the person who wrote the pattern and who made the blanket and did all the gauges and everything else. We don't know what size, we don't know what hook they used. We don't know how they hold their tension or anything like that. So all of that plays into account when you're looking at a pattern. Don't get disappointed if you had to frog back out and start back over. That's why they have the gauge. That's why they recommend that you do a gauge swatch. A pattern will always have materials. They should always have materials listed. Underneath materials, you will find what type of yarn that they used to make this blanket with. Now, you can use any yarn that you want to use for any pattern. If you have the yarn that they recommend, great. If you don't, and you got other 5-weight yarn, sure, you can use that 5-weight. But keep in mind that some 5-weights are a little bit thicker than the other ones are. Just like, for example, this Premier puzzle is not as thick as this toy box yarn is. Both are classified as a 5-weight, but you can clearly see the toy box is a lot thicker than the Premier puzzle. This is the toy box. This is the Premier puzzle. So could I take the Premier puzzle and get the same size blanket? Probably not. How can I check to see if I could get the same size blanket? By doing the gauge with my Premier puzzle yarn. So I think a lot of people get frustrated with patterns when they have the exact yarn that the pattern calls for. Then they go into trying to do the pattern and it's not coming out the way they saying that it's supposed to come out. Hey, Chastity, I got your hate, girl. You better say, hey, mama. Hey, Chastity. So don't get disappointed. Just do your gauge. You may have to go up a hook size, or you may have to go down a hook size. I do recommend that you do gauge with patterns. Blanket patterns to me is not that important to do a gauge as it is if you're doing a top. If you're doing a top, whether it's a poncho, whether it's a pullover top or anything like that, then yes, your gauge is important because you want to make sure that it's going to fit. And sometimes you have to fudge the pattern to make it work out for you. And not all hooks are true size. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Doris. So for this, it says Premier Yarns Toy Box, which is 100% acrylic, 100 grams, 109 meters. Let's see. Well, it's 100% acrylic. It's 109 yards, 100 meters, and it's a bulky 5. And this pattern is also on the band, or it might not be on the inside. There's some writing on the inside. Let's pop it and see. I can always tape it back. Nope, it just tells you where you can get the pattern and stuff from. But Premier does always put a gauge inside their wrappers. You have a ruler gauge on the inside of them. And it says that you would need 3 balls of the colorway jump rope and 2 balls of slinky. So you would need 5 balls total, which would be approximately, and I always say approximately because 545 yards. So go ahead, and what I do is I'll write that on my pattern. 545 yards is what they say I will need. You may need a little bit more. You may need less, depending on how tight of a crocheter you are. If you crochet really, really tight, the more yarn you're going to use. Same way with if you crochet loose. You might not use as much yarn. Okay, Chaz, y'all done made it home. So, it also gives you the recommended hook size, which is a L11 or 8 millimeter. And this is one of the Prims. It's a L, and I wrote the number 8 on it because it didn't have the numbers. It just had the letters. So, and then it'll give you notions. And the only thing they recommend that you have is a tapestry needle. Now, if it was something that you needed to mark a specific spot for, then they would have stitch markers. Most patterns tell you need a pair of scissors and stuff like that. So this one did not say scissors, but we know we got to have them to cut our yarn, right? So the next thing you see is gauge. And it says 10 double crochets by 4 rows equals a 4-inch. And they have save time, check your gauge. So what that means is you can crochet 10 double crochets and 4 rows of double crochets, and you should have a 4-inch by 4-inch box. So I'm going to sit here and do that while I talk to y'all about this pattern. And I'm using my Prim 8mm hook. And I'm going to chain 15. And I'm going to work double crochets. Now what I do is I always crochet. They say 10. I'm going to go at least a couple over what they recommend. And I'm going to do this hey, Crazy Night Crochet with Lisa, welcome in. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I chained 18, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the 3rd chain, and then I'm going to work 1 on down. So we're going to check the gauge. I'm going to do 4 rows of double crochet, and we're going to see, do we get 10 doubles and 4 rows to equal a 4-inch square. Miss Beverly, I'm on the gauge part. I'm just going to work up a little gauge swatch right quick. And we're going to test the gauge. And then we'll get into the actual blanket part. Now, most patterns come with an abbreviation, which is on the 2nd page here. So while I'm working on the gauge, we're going to talk about the abbreviations. Normally, the abbreviations are listed on the front page. And what all patterns should have is an abbreviation that tells you what each abbreviation in the pattern stands for. So CH stands for chain. So anytime you see CH in the pattern, that means you chain. Thank you, Miss Sandra, for being here. And hey, Sandy with Hook Crochet, welcome in. DC means double crochet. So anytime you see the abbreviation DC in the pattern, that's what that means. You're going to double crochet. The next one is DC2, the number 2, TOG. That means double crochet 2 together. So anytime you see the abbreviation DC, the number 2, TOG, that means double crochet 2 together. REP, that means repeat. SC means single crochet. ST by itself means stitch. ST with a parentheses S means stitches. So it's always important to look at your abbreviations, know what each one of them mean before you ever do the pattern. That way, when you're reading the pattern, you understand the language of the pattern. Now, right there where it says blanket. Hey, Melissa's coloring and multitasking. Welcome in. Right there where it says blanket, right here, it says with A. Now, what does A mean? That wasn't part of the abbreviations. If you look back up here, under materials, it says jump rope with an A behind it. That means they're identifying jump rope as the A color. So you would start with the colorway jump rope and you would chain 63. So that's what that means. With A, which in this case is jump rope. Now, if you have other 5-weight yarn and you're using 2 colors, then you pick which color would become A and which color would become B. Then you're going to do a chain of 63. Once you got your chain of 63 done, you would double crochet in the 4th chain from hook. Hey, Melissa Long, welcome in. So you would double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. Then you got a little comma. That means you stop for a minute. Just like when you're reading a story, commas are for you to pause. This is very important to pay attention to in a pattern, the asterisks. You should have a beginning asterisk and you should have an ending asterisk. Some patterns don't have them. Some patterns use brackets. So after we double crocheted into the 4 chain from the hook, it tells us to double crochet in the next 3 chains. So that means 1 double crochet in the next 3 chains. Then you're going to double crochet 2 together over the next 2 chains. And I'll be able to show y'all this from this little swatch too. And you see where it says the double crochet 2 together over the next 2 chains. Those are in brackets. And behind it, it says twice. So that means you're going to repeat what's in that bracket twice. All that goes together. And you see you have your comma afterwards. I'll show you I'll show you what 2 together mean, Miss Beverly. Let me get this swatch done up. The asterisk means that you're going to repeat from that asterisk to the next asterisk for the remainder of your row. Double crochet in the next 3 chains, comma, double crochet 2 in each of the next 2 chains. So what that means is you'll put 2 double crochets in that next stitch and 2 double crochets in the next one. Then it says repeat from the asterisk 3 more times. So from this point here to this point is what you will repeat 3 more times. And we'll walk through that. Once you repeat that 3 times, then you're going to double crochet in the next 3 chains. Then you're going to double crochet 2 together over the next 2 chains twice. It's important to make note of where your commas are. Hey, Peppermint Stitches. Hey, Jeannie, aka Proverbs 31 Yarn. Welcome in. And then it tells you at the end of the row how many stitches you should have total, which is 60. I'm on the 4th row of the swatch now. And then we'll go through. We'll go through row 1. All right, so here's the swatch. I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 double crochets. And they said 10 doubles and 4 rows should give me a 4-inch square. I used an 8mm crochet hook, which is what they recommend. Hey, Judy Howe, welcome in. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right there. So from this finger to this finger is 10 doubles. I'm going to lay my ruler just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is what I got for 4 inches. 10 would give me 4.5 inches. So again, I used an 8mm hook. I'm actually using the yarn that they recommended. And we're going to see, do I get 4 inches this way? Nope. I got 3 3/4. Would I rip it back if I did the whole 63 chains and had worked 4 rows up? No, I would not. I would keep going. I would definitely keep going. So I didn't get the gauge. So we're going to work up. I'm going to do a little more of a chain so that we can actually do row 1 on camera. And we're going to walk through it step by step. I don't like that hook though, but I'm going to use it. I don't like how the yarn glides on it. And everybody writes patterns different, but the lingo, which is the language, they should all be similar in some sort of way. Some people write their pattern the way they crochet and the way they talk, which sometimes are easier to follow. This pattern to me is one of the most easiest patterns to try to learn from. All right, I got 63 chains. I'm going to slide this out of the way. These books, if I can get them up, they're heavy. I'm going to leave the pattern on the screen. I've got 63 chains. Now we're going to work a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. You can, Kivia. Remember, the loop on your hook does not count as a stitch in crochet. So you go 1, 2, 3. This is our 4th chain. So we're going to work 1 double crochet into the 4th chain. I would say so, Miss C, because it's 60 plus the 3. So anything that would be divisible by 4. So I've double crocheted in the 4 chain from the hook, and I got a comma. That means stop. Go to the next part. At this point, just know that your apostrophe means I'm going to have to repeat something at this point. Hey, Virginia's Cozy Knits and Crochet, welcome in. I am glad you are here as well. Now it tells us to double crochet in the next 3 chains. So we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next chain, 1 double crochet into the next chain, and 1 double crochet into the next chain. And that was at my 3. I'm going to stop because I got a comma. Y'all know when they teach us proper way to read, you pause at commas and you put emphasis on exclamation marks and anything in a bracket with the parenthesis, not the parenthesis sign, the quotation marks means that's something that someone else has said. So commas serve the same point in a pattern. You pause. Now it's telling me to double crochet 2 together. That's what the DC2 TOG stands for, over the next 2 chains. Hey, Jenny Jen, my friend, welcome in. So to do double crochet 2 together, you yarn over your hook. You're going to insert it into the first chain. You're going to pull up a loop. You're going to route and pull through 2 loops on your hook and stop. You're going to yarn over and you're going to go into the next chain. You're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That is double crochet 2 together. You double crochet 2 chains together and you double crochet the double crochets together. And it says do that twice. It's behind the bracket, but twice is behind that bracket, and then your comma. So all of that goes together. All of this right here goes together. So you're going to double crochet 2 together again. So wrap your yarn, go into that next chain, pull up a loop, route, pull through 2, stop. Route, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, route, pull through 2, route, and pull through all 3. And because this is a chevron style blanket, what this does is creates what I call a valley. That's your valley. So I've done this part 2 times. Now I'm going to go to the next part. It says double crochet in the next 3 chains. So this is 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. I got my comma. I paused. Double crochet 2 in each of the next 2 chains. So now we're going to put 2 double crochets into the next chain. Not doing them together, just working 2 double crochets in the next chain. And we're going to work 2 double crochets into the next chain. Just like that. And what that is doing is forming our peak. So the double crochets together create our valleys. The 2 double crochets in the 2 chains creates our peak. Kivia, gauge is what they tell you to do to make sure that the way you're crocheting comes out the same as what their gauge is. So I would have needed to go up a hook size in order to get the proper gauge, because I didn't get the correct gauge. Mine was off by an inch by double crochet, and it was not as wide. It was 3 3/4 inches wide. So I would have needed to change hooks, and it could be this hook. I could have tried another size 8 hook and it could have come out right. Melissa, that's referred to as tension. And if you're used to crocheting tight, continue crocheting tight. You could try to loosen it up between your fingers. I'm not sure how you hold your yarn. You could try maybe a different way of trying to hold it, or just loosen it up in your fingers. I go between my pinky and ring finger, underneath my 2, and over my pointing finger, my index finger. And I hold just like this. Yes, Zoila. So once we worked our 2 double crochets in our next 2 chains. Now it says repeat from asterisk to asterisk. Normally they will have asterisk to asterisk, and you pull them 2 asterisks out, but this is not written that way. Normally some patterns will be written like this. It'll say repeat from asterisk to asterisk. You could go up a hook size if you are a tight crocheter and you need to meet that gauge, or you could try to loosen up your tension. Chastity, I know you are a very tight crocheter. You could try to loosen that tension up on your hook and your yarn that you're holding it. And it also depends on how you hold your hook. If you are a knife holder or a pencil holder, you do get different gauge swatches by doing it in a pencil hold and a knife hold. I've actually put that to the test. You're welcome, Miss Virginia. Right, Miss Pam says, I don't try to change tension because that is what comes natural to me. I usually change hook. And that is really the best thing to do, is change your hook size. If you're really, really tight, this calls for 8. You might want to try a 9 millimeter. If you don't get it with a 9, you might want to try a 10. If you're a really, really loose crocheter like Veronica is, she might could get away with a 7 millimeter. So you just have to play around with it and see, and do it. But with a gauge like I got, I'm not finna change it. I'm going to keep going with what I got. Because, one, it hadn't been blocked or anything like that. So we're going to now, since we've done our 2 double crochets in the next 2 chains, we're going to go back up to this part of the pattern, to the first asterisk where it says double crochet in the next 3 chains. So we're going to double crochet in the next 3. And once you do the repeat enough, you won't even have to look at the pattern. All right, so I've done my 3 double crochets in the next 3 chains. Now we're going to do the double crochet 2 together over the next 2 chains. And remember, we're going to repeat that twice. So yarn over, go into your next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, and stop. Wrap, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, and stop. And then pull through all 3. Do that one more time. Go into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2. Wrap, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, and pull through all 3. As you can see, this is one valley, this is a peak, and this is another valley that is starting. That's how you get your peaks and your valleys when you're working with chevrons, regardless of what type of chevron that you do. Some of them, it's so many different chevron patterns out there, but you're always going to have valleys and peaks in chevrons. Now we're going to double crochet into the next 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets in the same chain, and we got to do it for 2 chains. So in this next chain, I'm going to work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And in the next chain, I'm going to work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2, just like that. Now we're going to work 3 double crochets, 1 in each of the next chain. So 1, 2, and 3. And we wanted to repeat this 3 times. So this is our first repeat right here. From these 3 double crochets to this valley, to these 3 double crochets, to these 2. That is 1 repeat. We got to repeat it 2 more times. So this is the start of the second repeat right here, the 3 doubles. Because we have a peak here, now we're fixing to make another valley. And we're going to do that by double crocheting 2 together over the next 2 chains twice. So start, stop, wrap, insert into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, and then wrap and pull through all 3. That's our first one. We got to do it twice. Go into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, and pull through all 3. We just made our next valley. Yes, it's a prim. And the yarn is Toy Box. And the color is Hula Hoop. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're fixing to do a peak, which is 2 double crochets in the next chain and 2 double crochets in the next chain. So in that next chain, we're going to work 2 double crochets. And in the next chain, we're going to work 2 double crochets. And that ends our second repeat. Now we're going to work 3 double crochets, and this is our third and final repeat. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work 2 double crochets together over the next 2 chains. Wrap your yarn, insert into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2. Wrap your yarn, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, wrap, and pull through all 3. We're going to do that 1 more time over the next 2 chains. We're going to work 2 double crochets together. And that gives us our peak. Now we're going to work 3 doubles, 1 double crochet into the next 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to put 2 double crochets in this chain and 2 double crochets into the next chain. So 1, 2, 2, and in the next chain 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Now we have finished our repeat. Now what we're going to do, that was how many times we had to repeat it, 3. Now we're going to double crochet into the next 3 chains. So 1 double crochet into the next chain, 1 double crochet into the next, that is 2, and 1 double crochet into the next, that is 3. Now we're going to double crochet 2 together over the next 2 chains twice. We're forming our valley. So we're going to go into that next chain, work half of our double crochet, wrap and go into the next chain, pull up that loop, work half of our double crochet, and then we're going to pull through all 3. And we're going to do that one more time. 2 double crochets together over the next 2 chains. And then we're going to double crochet in the next 3 chains. You should have 4 chains left. Yes, Kivia, you can use another hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to double crochet in the next 3. So this is 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to double crochet 2 in the last chain. So 1 and 2. So we ended with a valley. We got a valley, a peak, a valley, a peak, a valley, a peak, a valley, a peak, a valley, and our end. And if you count, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets on this end. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this end. Yeah, Kiwi, you can use any hook that you want and yarn. And these make really, really nice baby blankets. This would be a good pattern for us to make a bunch of them up and send to Miss Billy or Sandy. Which she's got yarn too for Boggy Creek Camp. They do have a total of 82 blankets so far, which is awesome. I watched their live the other night. One lady sent in, I think, like 18 blankets. That was amazing. And they were all very, very beautiful. They should do the unboxings on lives and stuff to show you what people send in and everything. So this will be a good pattern to use for that. Even if you need to make it bigger, do it by increments of 4. A pattern of 5 plus 3. I said 4. It is 5. 60 divided by 5. 12. Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. Welcome in with CMM Designs. So the pattern repeat is 5 plus 3. Thank you, Miss C, for correcting me on that. If you wanted to make it longer. Now, this says I should have a width of 27 inches. Now, remember, you're not going to measure your chain before you start this pattern and get 27 inches because your valleys brings it in. But we're going to run the measuring tape across this to see how close am I to 27. I'm at 25. Because it's taken 5 stitches to complete a portion of the pattern, Melissa. So we started out with 5 here because that 3 that we skipped from the beginning when we crocheted into the 4th chain counted as a stitch. And then we got 5 before we start the decrease. And then if you count the decrease, that's 2. And then you got 5 here. So on row 2, it says it counts. The chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Now in some patterns, that does not mean a chain 3. And if that is indicated, then that chain 3 does not count as a stitch. Yes, Virginia, you could use a larger hook and make it a more drapey blanket. Yes. If they say chain 3, but does not count as a stitch, then it does not count as a stitch. And they're only using that to build up the side, to keep the side straight. Like I did in the track stitch. If y'all watched the tutorial from the track stitch, I told y'all I deviated from what the book said to do, because she said chain 5 when you get ready to do the track stitch, which counted as your first treble. But instead of me chaining 5, I chained 3. Then I worked that treble back into that first stitch. And what that did was make that edge a little bit more sturdy and not as holy. So, and it kept my edge straight. So, if it says it counts as a double crochet, it counts as a double crochet. Now, if you don't like how that looks, you can always chain 1, turn, and work that double crochet back into that stitch. But for this purpose, because I'm teaching, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. I always chain before I turn. And another thing, whichever way you make your first turn, whether you turn this way or you turn towards your right hand, make sure you turn that way each and every time. If not, your edges are going to start looking like this. They're going to start becoming wavy because you're not turning the same way every time. And it does make a difference. I'm putting my calculator there to hold that down. CMM Designs, I'm using Premier Follow the Leader pattern. I'll paste the link again right quick for you. It's right coming to you. There it is. Right there. Yes, if you do not turn your project the same way every time, you're going to get wavy edges. So I've chained 3. That counts as a double crochet. So what that means is we're not going to work back into this first stitch right here, into this very first one. When it say double crochet in the first double crochet, wait, hold on a minute, y'all. Yes. In this case, it counts as a double crochet, and we're going to double crochet in the first double crochet, which is this one at the base of our chain 3. So we're going to work a double crochet back into that very first stitch. So you're going to have 2 there. Now we're going to work a double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. You're always going to have 5 doubles total before you start doing your decrease. Remember, we got an asterisk right here. So that means we're going to repeat from there. I'm going to go and find my next one and mark it too. And I'm going to highlight everything inside those 2 asterisks, just like that. Now, if you got those pattern keepers like I got, you can put your pattern in there and you can use a dry erase marker to highlight it and you can just erase it. You ain't got to mark up your pattern like I do. So we've double crocheted in the next 3 double crochets. This is a valley. So we're going to do the same thing and we're going to work 2 double crochets together over the next 2 double crochets. So wrap your yarn, go into that first double, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through the first 2, go into the next one, pull up a loop, wrap, pull through 2, and then wrap and pull through all 3. We're going to do that over the next 2 as well. So do 2 more together, just like that. And what that is doing is keeping your valleys with your valleys. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet over the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to work 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. So 1 and 2. 2 double crochets into the next double crochet. 1 and 2. Now we're going to work 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're at our valley. So now we're going to do double crochet 2 together. And we're going to repeat that one more time. Double crochet 2 together. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet over the next 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work 2 doubles into the next double crochet. And this is basically the repeat. 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. Now we're going to work 3 doubles over the next 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're at our valley. So we're going to do 2 double crochet together. So 1, half, next stitch, half, together. And that's keeping your valleys with your valleys and your peaks with your peaks. You can see them a little bit better now. It's wavy. This is more of a wavy chevron. You got some out there that are considered pointy. I mean, they have a point like that on them. We've done our 2 double crochet together. Now we're going to work our 1 double crochet into the next 3. That's 2. And that is 3. Now we're going to work 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And 2 double crochets into the next stitch. 1 double crochet into the next 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at our valley, so we're going to work 2 double crochets together over the next 2 double crochets, and we're going to do that twice. Now we're going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to work 2 doubles in that next stitch, 2 doubles in the next stitch. 1 double crochet into the next 3. And 2 double crochets together over the next 2. And do that one more time. And 2 double crochets together over the next 2. We're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 3. And in that turning chain from the beginning row, we're going to work 2 double crochets. So at the end of every row, you will work 2 double crochets in the last stitch. And at the beginning of every row, you will work your chain 3 and a double crochet into that very first stitch. And this is what you're going to repeat all throughout this pattern. Now what it's telling us to do, we've finished row 2. Now it's telling us to change over to our B color. And I don't have anything in a 5-weight that matches that one. So I can show you how you would change over, how I would change it over. And I'm going to do it just by grabbing the tail end of this yarn, which is in a different color. So before I finish my last double crochet, I would lay this on top and just pull it through like that. And I would snug this just like this with a little, like I'm tying my shoe, not a knot. And then I would begin crocheting with my next color by chaining 3, turning, and going back into that same stitch and working my next double crochet. Yeah, these are, I like chevrons like this. I have a tutorial on my channel for the peephole chevron. I've actually done a blanket with it. I can go and grab it and show it to y'all what it looks like. Let me go grab it. And I don't remember what yarn this is. I want to say it's a Premier yarn. It may be in one of their puzzle yarns. But this is the peephole chevron. Very easy. Don't have to think about what you're doing once you get it down pat. And it makes a very, very beautiful, beautiful blanket. I've actually done a wrap out of it. I've got the tutorial on how you do this on my channel. This would also be a good blanket to do for Boggy Creek camp. Works up super fast. This is just like a little throw that I made. I had, I think 2 skeins of this, and this is what it did. For that. That's folded in half. And that's the peephole chevron. Good night, Lisa. So chevrons like this work up really, really fast. And what I like about this is the way you look at it, it actually looks like one row sits lower than the other row. If you can see it, it actually looks kind of groovy. One row looks like it sits up higher than the other row. So if you want to know how to do that, I did not color control. Nope. That is just worked up straight from the skein like that. You can see right here on this part where it went from the pink to the orangey color. And right here where it went from the darker mauve color to the pink and the yellow. Nah, I didn't color control. But this is good at hiding that. So, I told y'all I have a lot of stuff that I've made that y'all have never seen. And some of it I can't show because I don't have it anymore. But I do think I have that wrap, though. I think it's at the office in a tote. I do have a picture of it if I can find it. And I was going to do a tutorial for it, and it's another lady in Canada. I can't think of what her name is. She did a sweater, and I want to say a scarf. Not a wrap, but a scarf. Using that same stitch. And I reached out to a couple of people that are familiar with, you know, doing stuff like that. And I was informed that if she showed hers first, then I probably wouldn't do, because I was going to do a tutorial for it and teach y'all how to do the wrap and stuff. But I was informed that I probably shouldn't do that since she showed hers first. But it's a stitch out of a book. And, you know, I was just getting started. I didn't know no better. Excuse me. So I listened to those that's been on YouTube for a while. And I should have just followed my first instinct and went on and did the tutorial, which I can still do. I just got to find the right yarn, because I used Mary Maxim yarn when I made this. And it came out so beautiful. That is done using the peephole chevron stitch. And I made that wrap to the point where I put a button on it, and you could close it up in the front as well. Now this one was not color controlled, but I did add that brown to it, which was, I think, their mellow, what is it? Their mellow spun yarn. And then that blue is like a woven style yarn. Jen, it's not as big as what it looks on there. I actually have it. I'll get it from the office, and if I don't come up on Veronica's Live Thursday and show y'all, I'll show y'all Saturday in the Yarny Fiber Sisters. Thank you, thank you, thank you for telling me you're home safe. But that thing was so light and airy, and the yarn was absolutely wonderful to work with and everything. It was, and I'm not saying that because I did it. I'm saying it because that stitch created a beautiful piece with my hands, of course. But see, there's where I put the button. So, but once you change over, once your pattern tells you to change to color B, you would change to your new color. Then for rows 3 and 4, you're going to repeat row 2. Then rows 4 and 6, you're going to repeat row 2. Repeat rows 3 through 6 more times. So you're just basically going to repeat row 2 until you get the blanket the size you want to. This is just what they're doing here with the 2 colors is you're doing 2 rows of color, then 2 rows of the white, 2 rows of color, 2 rows of white, 2 rows of color, 2 rows of white. That's all you're doing, is just switching it back and forth. If you wanted to do it in a solid color, then the only thing you would do is repeat row 2 for the entire part of your blanket. That's it. And then for finishing, it just says with A, work 1 row of single crochet along each side edge of the blanket, weaving ends and block lightly. And that's only if you wanted to put a single crochet edge around it. It gives a nice edge anyway. So at this point, you would chain 3 and go right back into that very first stitch and work a double crochet. You're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 3. And then you're going to work 2 double crochet together over the next 2 stitches and 2 double crochet together over the next 2 stitches. Then you would do 3 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3, and then you'll work 2 double crochets in the next stitch and 2 double crochets into the next stitch. And just keep going until you get it the size that you want. I think that's what I'm going to do with this yarn, because I got 6 skeins of it. I'm going to make a blanket and put it to the side and make some more of them and send it to Miss Billy and them for the Boggy Creek count. I know it's acrylic. I know they're in Florida. But they may have the air conditioner on real cold. Or, they help the sick children. So you may have some kids in there that are, that are sick and they stay cold all the time. Because they have kids in there with sickle cell, and I know they're cold a lot. They have kids in there with leukemia and other illnesses and stuff, and they stay cold a lot. Even the diabetic kids, they stay cold. So, wash it and send it to them. And I'm sure if I blocked this, I would get 27 inches. But I'm going to finish this. This is something you can do. Just sitting here watching TV, getting caught up on your favorite YouTuber, and work mindlessly. Yes, Brie. No, because some of the yarn that they showed, the blankets that were made the other day, was mandala yarn. Some of them was the ombre. Some of them was the regular mandala cakes. And those are acrylic. I do have some cotton yarn that I've been wondering what I'm going to do with. That Premier Momenti, that is acrylic and cotton. I'm probably going to end up turning them into blankets too. Sunita says royalty. You got to be talking about Jen. Brenda says, I'm still here listening and crocheting. Yeah, those blankets are 35 to 40. So I would have to make this one longer, which is fine. I can rip this out and make it a little bit longer. So it does have to be 35 to 40 inches. So that is the completion of pattern 1. Do I need to go over any other aspect of this pattern for any of y'all in here tonight? Because next week, we are going to be going over this one. And the link is in my community tab for this one. I like the bobbins. That yarn is super, super soft. Yes, Brie. They come from all over, so some may need the heavier blankets. Do they let them kids take the blankets home with them when they leave? Because they're not there to live. They're only there for a certain time period. And I was just wondering, do they recycle the blankets and use them with other children? Or are those children allowed to take those blankets home with them? Melissa, you got questions? Oh, they take them home. Okay. So this is one of the things that you can grab from Hobby Lobby. But if you can't go to Hobby Lobby and grab it, you can go to their website and grab it. I will pull up Hobby Lobby and I'll walk y'all through on how to do that. I'm going to remove my other camera. Share my screen. And pull up Hobby Lobby. When you pull up Hobby Lobby's website, you want to go to DIY projects and videos. Then you want to find yarn and needle arts right here. And you will click on that. Now right here in the search keywords, I'm going to put shawl and scarf. And you're going to have to filter out through. Well, it didn't even pull it, did it? So we're going to go back. And we're going to go to yarn and needle arts. And we still got to find it. So there's no way to sort through. There it is. And you just click on it. Click View Inspiration. And it's going to open up in another screen. And I'm going to share that screen so we can look at it on the screen together. Right there. So this is the shawl and scarf pattern that I showed underneath the other camera. You can get it free off of Hobby Lobby's website. And they talk about it. They show some really nice pictures of it. And it says, shawl good. We use earthy, natural colors to give our shawl a Southwestern style. But if you'd prefer something a little flashier, don't be afraid to mix and match brighter colors instead. Psst. It said, psst. The chevron pattern zigzag designs give the shawl an extra layer of complexity and pop. Which they got to be talking about this. Yep. See the chevron style? So they say this is an easy pattern. We're going to see how easy it is. Some patterns that are written easy are not always easy. So, and then this is 46 rows to repeat. So we'll go through this one next week. It measures approximately 56 by 32 inches. And again, it gives you the materials. If you wanted to use the yarn that they use, there's a list of everything that they use. You would need 1 skein of ivory, 2 skeins of burnt pumpkin, 2 skeins of sea blue, and 1 skein of sun gold. And you will need a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook and a yarn needle. Again, this one I'll say none about no daggum scissors. I guess they just assume, oh, yeah, I might can see it now. They just assume that we know we got to have scissors, right? And again, there's your gauge right there. 8 double crochet stitches and 5 rows equals 2.5 inches. So they didn't do a 4-inch gauge. They did 2.5 inches. And then there's all your instructions. And what I like about these, there's the scarf pattern. You get multiple patterns. And sometimes you get knit patterns along with the crochet patterns. So this one is a 2-for-1. Again, they say the scarf is easy. So we're going to see about this one next week. So this is the one that we'll be doing next week. And then the next one we're going to do is going to be another Premiere. Now I'm going to have to switch over. Now I can pull up Premiere's website. And if any of these that we're doing, if y'all would like us to make it on the screen, just let me know. Lord, I'm looking for premieres on Hobby Lobbies. I ain't going to find it on there. If any of these that we're going to be learning how to read the pattern on, if y'all want to actually make this, we can break it down and we can do it over a period of time on the live. Present. This one is considered an intermediate pattern, and it is the Lotus Petals Shawl by Premier Yarns Design Team. Now, they recommend cotton fair, which is 52% cotton, 48% acrylic, and it is a three weight. I have to look that one up. That's one yarn that I have never had. It's either a 2 or a 3 weight. So if you wanted to make it for the fall of the year, you could use acrylic yarn, and you could use like the mandalas. There are 3 weights. The mandala baby is a 3 weight. Or if you wanted to make it for the summertime, then you could get some cotton and acrylic yarn. But this is an intermediate, so we will be going over all of this. And you see here you got stitch guide. Can y'all see that? Yeah. And then you got leafy arches, multiples of 8 chains plus 2. So you would make it as long as you wanted to. And it says one size, 60 inches by 19 inches. And it tells you, see, it does not give you how many chains you got to make. And it says you would need 3 skeins of leaf green, which is 317 yards, which is going to be 951 yards. If my math in my head is correct. 951 yards. Now, this one says you will need stitch markers and a tapestry needle, 4mm crochet hook, and a 5mm crochet hook. But it does not tell you exactly how many to chain. So, we got to figure that out on our own, y'all. It gives you the multiples of 8 plus 2. And then it goes into triple crochet. And it tells you that the shawl is crocheted from the top down. Using smaller hook, chain 242 stitches. So, see, it's not up here at the beginning where it should be. It's on the back page. That's why I say, read your pattern before you begin. So, we will chain 242 stitches. So, when we actually get ready to do this one, if y'all want to make this, y'all let me know. We'll go ahead and have our chain done and out of the way. And after you do that 6 times with the smaller hook, you're going to change over to the larger hook. Repeat rows 1 through 6 2 times. And then here's all your abbreviations. Right there. You got begin, chain, continue, decrease, or decreased, double, triple crochet, pattern, place marker, remain, repeat, single crochet, skip, space, stitches, turn and chain, triple crochet, 2 stitches together. So that one I would say is an intermediate. So that is that. Hey, Jet One in, welcome in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ms. Margie, are you going live? Oh, Jen, sorry to hear about your mom. We'll be praying for her. You started your super scarf, Tiffany. I'm done with mine. I just got to add the fringe to it. I go live every Monday, Miss Virginia, at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's when we'll go over the shawl and scarf pattern next week. And it is a pretty one. If y'all want to make it, we can do that one. You're welcome, Melissa. And if y'all got any questions or anything, you can send me an email, Facebook Messenger, or Instagram. Cotton Fair's 2-weight. I knew it was a 2 or 3. I've actually never worked with Cotton Fair yarn. I've looked at it so many times at Michael's, and I don't actually like the feel of it. Okay, Miss Margie said she is going live, so we'll go over and raid her. Oh, thank you, Miss Virginia. Okay, about midday your time in Sydney, which is on a Tuesday, right? Oh, Miss C, good. Melissa, that Momenti is a 5-weight. I got it right here. And see, to me, it's kind of heavy. It's a 4-weight. There we go. Good night, Angela. Yeah, it's 7 ounces. And it's kind of, this is kind of a heavy cake. So it'll have some weight to it. Unless I use the right stitch, like that chevron, that peephole chevron stitch and a bigger hook. Oh, yeah, Kiwi. I know some of them have asthma. That's why when you wash them, you have to wash them with no fragrance. It's not real thick at all. It looks thicker in the cake than it actually is. They recommend a 5.5. I'd probably use a 6.5 on it. So this yarn I have not found anything that I wanted to make with it. It hadn't spoke to me yet. Butter Road Boutique, Miss Margie, drop your link to your live in the chat. Aren't you blue? Oh, Jen did. I don't have a 2-weight either. Well, I do. I got it in the Yarn Bee Wrapology. I guess I could make it with that. I got it in that. You could get white by with a 3. It would just be bigger. Maybe not chain as much as, maybe not do 242 chains, but you could do you get by with a 3. What is this classified as? A 2? You have any of this? What I said, you need 900 and something meters, 951 yards. This 524. So 2 of these would make that shawl. The one from Premier. Good night, Lisa. 2 strands of a 1 would make a 2. And 2 strands of a 2 would make a 3. 3 strands of a 3 would make a 4. 2 strands of a 4 makes a 5. And 2 strands of a 5 makes a 6. And 2 strands of a 6 is going to make a super duper bookie. Melissa, this is Yarn Bee Wrapology. And it's a 2-weight. And that is 90% cotton and 10% polyester. So that would be perfect for that shawl. And the only thing you need is 2 cakes. And you're going to have 1,048 yards. Yep. 524 yards per cake. And the pattern calls for 951. Thank you, Miss Deborah. Miss Deborah, I saw your thing that y'all did, the make along. Oh my God, y'all's things are so beautiful. Even though it's what I would say a funky design, but the colors and stuff that y'all chose is beautiful. You're welcome, Melissa. We're going to do it again next week. The more we do it, the more you'll get the hang of it. And if y'all know of any free pattern out there that y'all would like me to do, send me the link for it. Make sure it's free. If you got a specific pattern that you're not sure about and you want me to go over it, let me know. Send me the link and I'll get it and we'll go over it. Thank you, Melissa. We finna dance. Jen, for the shawl, not the one next week, right? For the premiere. Let me find it. Come out for this one. You're going to need a 4mm and a 5mm crochet hook. We're going to use the 4mm starting out. And then we'll work rows 1 through 6 2 times. So we'll do 12 rows with the 4mm. And then we'll do the rest of it with the 5mm. Jen wants to learn the feather and fan stitch. I'll see if it's in one of my books, Jen. If it is, I'll do a tutorial for it. Yes, it does, Deborah. It looks real. I love them. They're nice. Well, we're going to dance for Miss Deborah and for Melissa. Thank you, Miss Deborah. Melissa. Thank you. Thank y'all so very much. So are y'all thinking that we will do this one together during the live and make this? This one calls for a 4-weight yarn. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. This one is the one that requires a 2-weight. Oh, thank you, Miss Deborah. Yeah, I'll have some videos coming out tomorrow for the rest of the week. I know I didn't do my Mandala Friday. Like I said, my tail got into bed at 2 o'clock. Chastity actually woke me up by calling. She needed to talk to her daddy, and he don't have Facebook and stuff, so she wanted to video call him. So she woke me up, and I sat outside with them. When they got off the phone, I came in. I went and got right back in the bed, and I woke up at 8 something that next morning and pretty much stayed in the bed all day Saturday. He asked me, was I dying? I said, no, I'm not dying. It's just my back. And I took my Flexeril and my Naprosyn. I only take 2 Naprosyn a day. They're 500 milligrams and only 1 Flexeril. So I really think that Flexeril this time, though, had me kind of knocked out. Made me wonder if them was Flexareels I was taking. The bottle said Flexareel. Good. So you need at least 1,000 yards of a number 2 weight to do the green shawl, the lotus petal shawl. And Jen said feathers and fan. I'm writing it down, Jen. I want to say that stitch is in one of my books, and if it is, I will do that tutorial tomorrow for you. Margie is live now, so we're going to go over. Thank y'all so much. We're going to dance for Butter Roll Boutique. And Butter Roll, if you're not familiar with what we do, I write your name down, and I'm going to put it in my bucket for the month of November. And next Monday, I will pick a winner. Yes. So we're going to dance right quick for Butter Roll. I got to remember to say roll and not butter ball. Thank you. What I'm trying not to do is get back on that doggone prednisone. I'm still feeling the effects of it. Lord, my computer screen just glitched. So I'm trying not to get back on that prednisone. See y'all over at Miss Margie's. Thank you so much for... Y'all see my computer screen keep flicking? Did y'all see me go out and come back in? I don't know what's going on. Thank y'all for being here. If you're here watching the replay, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. And join us next Monday as we will learn how to read another pattern. Thank y'all all so very much. Let's go over to Miss Margie's. I don't know why it's flickering. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Till next time, be kind. Always remember to smile. And remember, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, just keep your darn mouth closed. Bye, everybody. Let's go to Miss Margie's.